Alright, welcome back to another episode of Amazing Kitchen. Today I'll be showing you a very simple dessert that requires only 3 ingredients and maybe a half an hour of your time to make. This is called lemon posset. It's a British dessert that is quick and easy, simple to make. All you need is lemon, sugar, and heavy cream, and that's all. And then maybe about 10 minutes of simmer time, and then you're good to go. Then we chill it, and it's bright, it's lemony, it's refreshing, great for after a meal kind of a dessert. You know, it really cleans your palate nicely, especially after a very oily dish, maybe pasta, you know, alioli. After a nice oily pasta that is tasty, you clean your palate with this. Oh, just imagining the ingredients makes my mouth water already. All right, well, if you like the sound of that, stay tuned and subscribe and like this video, and make sure you hit the subscribe button for all future posting of great recipes on this channel. All right, enough said, now let's get into it. All right, first thing we need is a bowl, and we will be scraping the lemon flesh on the inside out because we're reusing this as our container. We'll cut it in half and we'll pour the ingredients in and we'll chill it, and this acts as a very beautiful serving tray as well, and we can also recycle this, so it's good in every way. So because we'll be keeping the lemon, that's why we have to make sure the flesh is not damaged, and well, the lemon shell is not damaged, the skin is not damaged, but we want the flesh from the inside. All right, so I've started grating the lemon zest earlier. All right, so I'll continue with that. So we need some lemon zest because we'll be adding this to our dessert as well as using it as a garnish for our dessert later. And this just adds to the presentation. It's very simple and straightforward. It's white with some lemon color, you know, yellow color over the top. It's so beautiful to look at. So make sure you grate this in such a way that once the white part of the lemon is revealed, you stop. You don't want to go deep in because that lemon white part will get a little bit bitter. So you just want the very surface on the top where all that aroma is. Then you get that off, such as this. You see, when you see the white, you stop, because the white will start to begin to have this bitterness to it. And if you get too much off, your dessert will be sweet, sour, and then bitter at the same time. All right, we don't need a lot, I mean just some of it. I mean, we have 5 lemon here in this case. So I'm using 2 cups of heavy cream together with 5 lemon and about 1 cup of sugar. Now the sugar, depending on whether you like it very sweet or less sweet, you can adjust the sweetness by amount of sugar you add. For me, I feel 1 cup is good, but we'll give it a taste later just to confirm that it's still my palate today. Now another thing to note is when making this dessert, when you're heating up the heavy cream, make sure it doesn't boil over. So you have to watch it closely. It will come to a boil very quickly, maybe about 5 minutes. So you stand next to the pot and continue to stir it, make sure it doesn't burn, and make sure it doesn't boil over. And once it comes to a simmer, make sure you turn the heat down low so that it just simmer slightly bubblish, but you don't want it to really come to a boil, or else you'll make a huge mess at home. So that's it. There we go. Now look at all the zest. Now let me store this. Let me get a tiny little plate like this. We'll save about half of this for garnishing later, and then maybe about the other half we can add it to the mixture. Okay, great. Now let's set that aside. Now our lemon zest is off. We split the lemon down the center, okay, to reveal everything here. If you don't want that end, you just cut off that end. So It just looks neater. Great. So now the flesh is on the inside. All we need to do is scrape the flesh out. Now as you notice, the lemon, this type of lemon, the wall is very thick and nice. So it's very good for reusing as a container. Now you want to go to the edge and just kind of pry at it, right? Make sure when you pry you don't damage the skin, okay? And everything should just come right off as one. Then we just press this later to get the juice out. Don't worry about the seed making it into the juice right now. Later on we can just pull out the seed separately. Alright, there you go. I got the first piece out. There you go. A nice clean container. Good for serving. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? I do the rest just the same way. I get to the edge and just slowly pry at it until the flesh comes off. Once it comes off, you can feel you're able to get the spoon through it. Then you just slowly work your way around the entire lemon until you're able to get to the bottom of it. Kind of like working your avocado. You know, once you cut open avocado, you get your pit out. Then you just scrape out all the flesh on the inside. Very similar process. Okay, there you go. You see, it's beautiful, it's all intact. Now this we can reuse. So we continue cutting the rest. Oh, the tip, I cut off the tip, so then because it has the stem at the end, doesn't look as nice, so we just get the tip off. So it takes a little practicing for those of you who is doing it for the first time, right? Get a spoon that is super thin so that it's easier to get between the flesh and the skin, because there's a membrane. Once you get under that membrane, you can just scrape it all out. It comes off very easily. There we go. There you go. See, just like this. It comes off as one piece. And we have this beautiful cavity. We will save this cavity, and this will be where we'll be refilling our creamy lemon posset back right in here. All we gotta do is get a pot, a small pot, and we add our cream to it. Right, so we have our heavy cream. We'll add our sugar. Then we bring this up to a simmer. Then we can add our lemon juice and a little bit of our zest to it as well. All right, let's bring this up to heat and dissolve all the sugar. Now while our cream is boiling together with the sugar, we can start juicing the lemon. Now as you can see, these all have the pit and flesh, everything all in one. You just simply give it a squeeze to get all that juice off and into the bowl. It might splash, or you can use, if you have a large enough mortar and pestle, you can also use that. But for me, because I don't need to be very exact, I just need to get most of the juice out. All right, and then we'll strain this to get the pit off, but then we'll add the flesh right into the mixture as well. Then we can strain it at the end to get any lumps out, so we can maintain the creaminess and smoothness of this dessert. So for now, doesn't need to be exact, we get most of the juice out. We may not even use all of this juice anyways, because this is quite a lot of juice. Most of it is off. Now keep the flesh aside, because that's no use. We will toss that out. All these pieces, let's get that juice off. We want to get all the seeds out as much as you can. See, all of these, the small pieces, get it out. flesh. And that's it. All right, more or less it's clean. That is all. Now we can set this aside next to our stove. When everything comes to a boil, we can add this to the mixture as well. All right. It's coming to a boil. The sugar is, I can feel a few grains at the bottom. So just a little while longer, all the sugar will completely be dissolved. Now it's time to add our lemon juice to it. So I will start by adding half the amount first and then give it a quick mix. And then the zest. Remember the zest we made earlier? We put in about half of this. That will just give a lot of lemony, tangy flavor to this dessert. Don't worry, we will have to strain this later. Make sure the heat is not too high and you just stir it slowly. Make sure never to allow this to come to a complete boil, or else it'll make quite a big mess on your counter or stove top. Just a test. Just nice. I can have a little bit more juice in it. Alright, that should do. So we don't need to use all 5 of the lemon with 2 cups of cream. If you want to use the entire 5 lemon, then you can put 3 cups of cream, and I think the flavor will just be nice. But of course, this is all preference. For me, I like a balance of sweet and tangy and creaminess. So this is my formula or recipe with 2 cups and 1 cup of sugar. But if you prefer sweeter or more tangy, then go by all means just add all the lemon juice in. For me, this is just perfect. It's not overly sour, because I don't want to add any more sugar to this. I want it to be just balanced. Now it looks like it's ready. We keep the heat on very low. Let it simmer for another minute. Then we can remove this from the heat and cool this down. Now this is ready and it has cooled down for a couple minutes. Now we can strain this. Like I said earlier, we can strain this to make sure any of the seeds and pulp and whatever that is in this that is not going to contribute it being smoother will have to be strained out. So let's pour this out. All right, that's it. Let me show you. You see all of this? This stuff came out of the mixture. This is all the zest and the little pulp and whatever that didn't get dissolved is still in there. Maybe probably 1 or 2 seeds. All right, so let's put this aside. So what we have here is a nice smooth paste. Well, paste. It's a nice smooth creamy mixture of this. And we have our lemon shells. So I chill this for a little bit so that when this is slightly warm, it goes into the shell. It'll help it cool down a lot quicker. And then solidify and then finalize it so that we can enjoy this even sooner. All right, so arrange this. Make sure this is not going to topple over. It's sitting nicely, you know, flat. All right, it's good to go. So now, you just have to scoop this on. Try to avoid making bubbles because that will cause it to be it'll cause the surface to be a little ripply, which we don't want, right? We want it to be completely smooth, beautiful, and nice. All right, that's one to go. Nice. Okay, good. And then we still have some left. So as you see, I have some glass prepared. Now I'll try to fill up these with the dessert as well. 1 scoop per glass. To keep it about the same size as the others. Let's pop some of the bubbles because we don't want the bubbles at the end. We want it to be nicely smooth over the top. So try to pop the bubbles if you can before it solidifies. Alright, it's all done. Now these cups are not used. We can set that aside. We allow this to cool in room temperature for a little while until it gets a little bit more solid. Then we can dress it up with our zest and put this in the fridge. In 1 to 2 hours, you're ready to enjoy it. Now this has cooled down a bit. Now it's time to garnish this. So we drop a couple pieces of zest on the top. This will add to the touch of more zesty bursts of flavor. Ooh. Now usually people like to add mint to the top. I like to put basil. I like the flavor of basil, so I'm gonna put basil on mine. Just a small leaflet. It gives it a nice contrast. Looks beautiful. There you go. Wow. Great. Here we go. Some zest. Some lemon zest. You can just smell this. The aroma is just amazing. There we go. That's it. What do you think? Was it easy or not? It was such an easy dessert to make. And look how beautiful, it looks so cute. If you're looking for one of those desserts that you want to impress your guests with, this is the type of dessert. It's simple, easy, and tasty to make. And this, like I said earlier, is very good for cleaning your palate after a nice meal like a pasta or any baked or fried dish. This is perfect for that because this tangy, bright flavor with that creaminess just complete your meal and make it the experience of a lifetime. All right, let's give it a try. I've chilled it a bit, so look at this. Let's give this a try. So smooth, so creamy, just the right sweetness. I mean, if you like it sweeter, just go ahead and add more sugar. But I find this is just the right balance. The acidity just comes through nicely and the sugar just balances it out just right. For me, I think it's just right. Maybe for some, you may want to add more sugar. Nice. Let's try with the basil. Wow. See, usually people put mint, but with the basil, it adds another burst of floral scent and aroma to this that is usually not present in a dessert. Wow. Look at this. Just enough. You know, just like French cuisine, fine dining, all you need is just enough. Not too much, not too little, just enough to satisfy your palate and to complete your meal, because after eating, you may not have a lot of space left for dessert, and this is tiny enough yet satisfying enough to have. All right, well, I guess that's about it. Subscribe, comment below, let me know what you think of this dessert. Let me know if you've ever tried it, or have you made a different version of this or not. Then we'll see you on the next episode. Okay, bye now.